medication is easy with City Drugstore's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drugstore's curbside pickup service.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. And I lime it and the beach on the town. Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow! Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Good morning and welcome to Voices for Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the program. It is 8 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour here in our studios, and you are listening to Voices. All right, welcome back. Welcome to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9 for Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. The latest in the news is the appointment of Her Excellency Miss Marcella Liebert, who was sworn in as the first female Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis. The ceremony for the new Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, Her Excellency Marcella Liebert, that was held Wednesday morning, February 1st, 2023. Well, the service actually commenced at 11:50 p.m. on Tuesday, January 31st. Resident High Court Judge Her Ladyship Tamara Gill administered the oath of allegiance and the oath of office. Her Excellency Miss Marcella Liebert is the 5th Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis and the first female to hold that post in the country. She succeeds Sir Samuel Weymouth Tapley Seaton, who served as Governor General from 2015 to 2023. The former Governor General, whose reign ended at 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, January 31st, was not present at the ceremony but sent regards and best wishes to Her Excellency the Governor General. The first Governor General was Sir Clement Arundel from 1983 to 1995, followed by the longest serving Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, Sir Cuthbert Sebastian from 1996 to 2013. The third Governor General was Sir Edmund Lawrence from 2013 to 2015. In attendance at the ceremony was Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Cabinet Ministers, and special and other invited guests. The ceremony commenced at 11:50 p.m. on Tuesday, January 31st. I understand that it is the norm for such a ceremony to be held at that time. I know people were asking, is the time correct? Yes, the time was correct, 11:50 p.m. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989, 762-0989, or 662-0989 on today's edition of Voices. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. We'll take a short break to give a shout out to our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on WIN FM 98.9. Stick and stay. I'll be right back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Sardine have a new vibe. Brunswick Sardine have a new Brunswick Sardine Filet. It have a new vibe. You hear what me say? Run go to your favorite supermarket or corner shop and grab a couple things today. Cause this a sitting where everybody a go like. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe. 5 different flavors for you to try. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe. Plus it boneless. Oh yes, that's right. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe. Packed with nutrition in every bite. It tastes nice. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe.
You hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it?
Yeah, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply.
So check it out.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. It is 16 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour here in our studios, and you are listening to Voices. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. So the latest in our news is that Her Excellency Miss Marcella Liebert has been sworn in as the first female Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I have here with me a release from the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service. It says citizens and divisions from all walks of life are invited to the historic installation ceremony of the first female Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, Her Excellency Marcella Liebert, JP, at Government House on Saturday, February 4, 2023 at 4:30 p.m. The installation of Her Excellency Marcella Liebert will follow on the heels of the swearing-in ceremony which took place on Tuesday, January 31st, 2023 at 11:50 p.m. to be attended by a small group of invitees and carried live on ZIZ radio and other radio stations. Her Excellency Liebert has had a long and illustrious career, spanning that of educator, lawyer, senator, the first female Speaker of the National Assembly post-independence, the first female to be elected chairperson of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, and the first female deputy national leader of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, member of Parliament and Minister of Government. It says, having served as the Governor General's deputy since September 2022, His Majesty King Charles III has now appointed her as the first female Governor General of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. All other Governor Generals were appointed by Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away at the age of 96 on September 8, 2022, having served as the longest reigning British monarch with 70 years on the throne. Her Excellency Marcella Liebert succeeds His Excellency Samuel Weymouth Tapley Seaton, who was appointed as the head of state in 2015. So, heartiest congratulations to you, Her Excellency Miss Marcella Liebert, on your appointment as the 5th Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, the first female to hold that position. And if you were following me, you would notice that Ms. Liebert was also the first female Speaker of the National Assembly post-independence. She was the first female to be elected the chairperson of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. She was the first female deputy national leader of said party. She was also a member of Parliament, that is, an elected representative, and she was also a minister of government. The phone lines are open, and we're taking your calls at 4660989. Let's head to the phone lines, and we'll take this call. We lost that one. Let's take this caller. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Devon. You wake up to a new St. Kitts Nevis, eh?
How so? Tell me.
Eh?
How so?
You ain't just give the good news. You see how your man be? Eh? You ain't even realize there's a new St. Kitts Nevis. I want them get you. Anyway, I'll get myself. No, congratulations to Honorable Her Excellency Marcella Liebert. You know, we taught together at Bastia High. She taught English for years at Bastia High. And she's quite a good teacher. She's easy to get along with, you know. You know, like some people.
Mm-hmm.
And physically fit, I mean, it slipped me that said she's going to make 70 this year. And if you see Marcella, you wouldn't believe. I don't know if she runs still. She used to run every morning, she and Mary Bussels.
Okay.
keep herself in good shape.
Yeah, she does indeed look good for her age.
I'm telling you, it slipped me as a boy how the years creep up. Well, I mean, if I'm 74 after all, I'm not the only one getting old. Now, let me get to the politics of it now. Let me get straight to it. Now, by the way, Marcella is the second female speaker. Ada Mae Edwards is the first one.
Yeah, I said post-independence.
I know, but they should have said it, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yes, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, she's the second female. Ada Mae she made history. Marcella wouldn't have made history, you understand? Ada Mae was the very first one.
Yeah, well, I think the point that they were trying to make
I know.
was after 1983.
I get the point.
Okay.
I get the point. Because some people don't know. She is actually the second Labour politician to fill that post. Do you know that?
Who was the first?
Sebastian. Sebastian ran on a Labour ticket. He lost, so he was a politician. Now the parties tend to choose people who they feel comfortable with. I think that is the criteria, right? Is that so?
That's the general perception by the public.
Yeah, I also have a problem with some of them, some of the past ones. They are not right in that house. But you see, we don't have any say. It's the party have the say. Whichever party they choose, whoever they want. And we got to put up with it. Now, I hope Marcella is the last Governor General. I hope she's the last one, And the first president. Let me say it again because, people misconstrue. I hope Marcella Liebert, Her Excellency, is the last Governor General and will become the first president. I mean, in this day and age, Mr. A.G., let me tell you something, you hear me? I listen to Jamaica swearing in, and they pledge allegiance to the people of Jamaica. I sure you know that. Last night, without a doubt, we know that she working for the king. People keep complaining and nothing is being done. She don't honor allegiance to us. She owe it to the king, as she represent. We want a president. And even before we get there, we want our people to stop pledging allegiance to king and queen. Check Jamaica. Jamaica is not a republic, And do you know that, by the way, that they pledge allegiance to the people of Jamaica?
I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. Check it out. I mean, I'm going to stop this foolishness. It's no wonder some of them act that way. You ain't hire me, so you can't fire me. It sounds so bad. We're talking about enlightenment. Enlightenment. And every one of them, from the captain to the cook, pledging allegiance in an independent country. I show in Canada and think they don't do that. And New Zealand and so. They're not Republican. So I am begging, so Dr. Joe, up to it. Let Marcella make real history as the first president of the Federation. We're not too small. Dominica poorer than us, They have more land mass, but they've always been poorer than us, you know that?
Mm-hmm. Well, do we recall the Prime Minister saying that they are going to start the process in terms of St. Kitts and Nevis transition?
I don't know. He don't give timelines. That don't make no sense to me. When you're going to talk the timeline? I mean, serious. It's like your mother say, I'm going to buy you a pair of shoes. Month pass, the shoes you're wearing, soul drop off, she's still going to buy a pair of shoes. I mean, we got to take this thing seriously. But I better say, had a long story, They're president. Other people got president. Why we can't got president? We are not too small. As I said, we better off than Dominica.
Well, I would say to that in time to come.
But I hope you're alive to see it.
In time to come.
Anyway, so that is one.
All right.
And as I said, we have got to find a better way. A better way of selecting people. Because we have seen the fiasco with the one before 2015, where party allegiance take place. Because the others, even though they were selected by parties, political party, they were not impartial. But when you have Governor General acting as if he's a member of the party executive, I mean, where are we going? So I want to encourage Marcel. I wouldn't say wanna. We don't want a replay. And I must commend the former governor, Tapley Seaton, a very quiet and thing person, you know. Maybe one of the best we had after Mr. Innis, you know. And I want to hear Greg, because Greg does say when women rule you, it is a curse. So I calling him up. Greg, what is your opinion on the appointment of a female? Because I think, how do you feel about it? As a man, when people keep saying, you know, everything soon women, how do you feel about it?
Well, let me respond off here because we want to take some more. Let me respond following another call.
Hang up, but I want to respond.
Yes, I'll give you my response shortly. We are taking your calls at 466-0989 or 762-0989. It is 11:26 here in the studios of WINN FM 98.9. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Cornelius. And as the first caller, I too wish to wish Marcelo Liebert, you know, all the best to that succession in terms of that lofty seat of office. And I agree with Mrs. Henry that a matter such as coming out from first wave Barbados, the newest republic in the region, had went, and then the swearing in where even our Prime Minister was somewhat uneasy to really utter the words as fluent as he have ought to, and the Attorney General's office should have already expedited this matter so that when the swearing in of the first female Governor General, it should have been done with the pledging of allegiance to the people, if that was the protocol. Not only that, I also agree with Mrs. Henry about she would be the first president. It's not a far-fetched idea, it's not a far-fetched thing, given where we're going. It's just Saturday last week, I attended something that has been overlooked, along with the Christina disaster monument for unthinkable end. Why are these things taking so long? Why? It's like we suffer the agony of such things, and to a lesser extent, lives lost with the Christina disaster. And we still continue to procrastinate expediting matters of such importance to the nation. And so I was elated even when the Prime Minister allotted some land. We want to see, because we want to see something well efficient. We want to see something of like the monument. Hello?
Yes, caller, I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Yes, something like the Buckley's monument be an educational place where Barbados is doing something similar, and they're going to do it in grand style. You know, Barbados. And so us, likewise, ought to really think, plan these things so that we can have a museum, we can have an educational center where the children from the school can go on field trips to the Buckley's monument area and learn from these things. And so, yes, I too wish Ms. Marcella Library. And I think it would be interesting, Mr. Cornelius, to find out at what age do other 4 or 5 that have held that office, at what age they have held that office. At what age they have held that office at. Mm-hmm. As it was disclosed that Ms. Marcella Library would be 70, or if she's 70, she's still 70. They would like to know at what age those others held that office at.
All right, caller.
I'll stay here for now. Thanks for listening.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution to this program. That's a good question. I'll have to do a quick research to get that information for you. You're listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. It is 11:31. We'll take a break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue Voices for today.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
You hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it?
Yeah, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drugstore's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drugstore's curbside pickup service.
Sardine have a new vibe. Brunswick Sardine have a new. Brunswick Sardine Filet. It have a new vibe. You hear when me say? Run go to your favorite supermarket or corner shop and grab a couple things today. Cause this a sitting where everybody a go like. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe. 5 different flavors for you to try. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe. Plus it boneless. Oh yes, that's right. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe. Packed with nutrition in every bite. It tastes nice. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe.
Okay, we lost that caller. Welcome back to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Devon. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
How are you doing? Happy New Year.
Same to you.
I want to wish the outgoing Governor General all the best, good health and strength, and congratulations to the incoming Governor General. I would like to have an interview with the former Governor General. See how, his life, because he's such a humble man. He smells of nothing and so on bother him. And Mr. Connors wants to go forward. The fireworks. I think people don't need to come out and let people know in advance that they're going to have fireworks. Because I was frightened last night. I was like, what that? Because we're going through, what's going on in the past couple of days. They have to shooting and so on. And when I hear this, I was like, what that? And then only to find out and so on, it's fireworks. So that at least they could come forward, anybody at all who having fireworks, let the general public know, okay, we're going to have fireworks at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So we could be alert. And the gentleman talk about the buckles riot. Where were the people? I was expecting a bumper crowd up there. Such a handful of people.
Were you able to attend?
Yes, I went. And it was not well attended at all. Even the Rasta man, the man was supposed to come out. Not the non-Rastas. Anyway, have a pleasant day.
All right, caller, and thank you so much for your contribution to this program. You're listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls at 466-0989 or 762-0989. You spoke about an interview with the former Governor General. I would like to have an interview with the former Governor General. That is if he accepts to be interviewed. I am sure I'm not the only one who may have missed this, but I missed the announcement as to whether he retired, he resigned. I don't recall hearing that announcement. I don't even know where the former Governor General is. So, I mean, we've been hearing all sorts of things, but we haven't heard an official communication from whether it should be from the Governor General's chambers or the Prime Minister's office. These are things that I think should be said. It is 11:37 here in the studios of WINNFM 98.9, and you're listening to Voices. The appointment of Marcella Liebert is one that is historic. I know whenever women are appointed to prominent positions, there is always a buzz surrounding the appointment. It's like, oh my gosh, a woman has been appointed. There are some people who are for it, and there are people who are against it, and that is expected, and that is fine. As I said, there are people who are going to be in favor of it, and there are people who are going to be against it. In terms of, being against it and saying that women should not hold, positions like these, I don't see the issue. I don't see the problem. These positions are usually held by men. And so if it is that a woman is now there, a woman who is well accomplished, well experienced, well educated, I see absolutely no issue as it relates to a woman being appointed to such a prominent position. Whether it be Governor General, Prime Minister, or the first female to hold that particular position, as long as it is someone who is, good character, good reputation, well accomplished, well experienced, well educated, I have absolutely no issue. Now, at the same time, one would say that it is good for these things to happen because women are often overlooked. I don't necessarily buy into that conversation or into that point or argument, because when you look across St. Kitts and Nevis, when you look in the private sector, when you look into, for example, education, we have a number of women holding prominent positions, and they have been doing a remarkable job. And so while I understand, where people are coming from at times, I don't necessarily buy into the argument that women are being overlooked and why is it that you're trying to fight on women. I think women have always been able to hold prominent positions. It shouldn't be about your gender, but about what you can bring to the table. And as I said before, if it is that you are bringing substance, if it is that you are bringing something meaningful, you're well accomplished, you know what you're doing, you're well educated, I have no issue with anyone taking up any position as long as they're qualified and know exactly what they're doing. Let's head back to the phone lines. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, me again. Thank you for answering. You have quite a good answer, We are still a patriarchal society, eh?
Yes.
Whether they want to believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So every time a woman is put in a certain position, it creates a certain amount of anxiety. And the truth is, economically, given this change in structure of the economy, the men tend to move into higher paying jobs And women, therefore, are allowed to move up. There's no question about it. You will have less men head teachers because they could get a better pay in a private sector job. In the government service, permanent secretary and so. The men move out, they go to central bank where they could get the 8,000, 10,000 into the other companies in top managerial positions. So sometimes what we are praising really is inequity in the system. Even teaching, women tend to flock in the lower paying jobs. And some women, they don't get it. You need to seek to get qualifications, whether vocational or academic. Otherwise, you will be there. So sometimes when we praising, women moving up, because the men don't want that position. Take it from me. That's economics. Now to the last caller about the Buckley's thing. I used to go. For some reason, it seemed not to be sinking into our people's psyche. You will be, now the thing took place in Buckley's and in the village, right? I'm from the village. And the activity going on, and the people who live on the estate land, walking past, they don't even come to peep. Could you imagine that? There seems to be a lack of interest. People all across the island, they hear this thing, they went through the land. So it's not just a bath, you see. How many of them come from the rural area to attend? Very few unless you're a Rasta, or unless you got some political intention. For some reason, we are either not selling it right, or our people have lost interest. That is how I see it. And it will continue so until we work out. And another thing too, I've told the Rasta brothers, there's still a large amount of prejudice against Rastas events.
Yes.
Could you imagine they got African Liberation Day in the square? All of them Bastille Rastas lean up on corner. They don't go. So they will handful from Rasta hire them thing there. And the Rastas who got the hair all tangled up and the ganja, they don't even go there and peep. I have challenged many of them because I used to go. But I could have seen, I used to go on the Saturday. But where you ain't going, it's them things. So the Rastas got to work on the image. Because if they're putting on events and there is very little interest, they need to find out what is it. Because you put in all of this work, you do all of the promotion, and then when you go, one handful. So maybe it's the first time she went, but darling, that is how it has been. And unless we do something different, it's going to remain the same. Because it's nothing new. It always bothers me that you know that in the village you think started the leaders. They not come in. The worst part is watching people who born and raised in Buckley's yard and on Buckley's estate land, walking past as if, what you all doing here? What's going on here? So we lack something. Now, this woman business, I'm going to take the other side, right? I asked the question when the leader of the NRP was here. What effect will it have on the psyche of women and men in the country when they observe two leaders in the same party fighting publicly? Will they become more attracted to a female, of course, a female party, female-dominated political party? Or are we going to say, every time woman now got confusion, that kind of thing, right?
But I don't understand the female-dominated party, though. I think females have always
if
dominated.
If you got 4-1, what you call that?
Females have always dominated parties in St. Kitts and Nevis.
They have never been in that kind of position, brother.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. Whether they hold, whether they are candidates Whether
That's
they
the
are
same.
candidates or they hold positions on the executive, it is the same thing. It is the reason why we say it is parties are now female dominated is because they're candidates. But it's the same thing. It's the same women,
Who are the power
the
brokers?
same very women.
Who are the
What
power brokers?
ones?
Even in the NRP. Let me go to the NRP.
Wait, who are the what?
Who talking
Sorry.
the most? The men. I don't listen to 2020, you know.
So if
Not
the men,
one woman there with them.
so if the men talking the most, then
They're
how is it
dominating
a
the party.
female-dominated party?
So they put up themselves. So I am saying, what is going to be the event if they have to have another election? And you put back up the same set of women. What kind of thing is that? What kind of example is that?
So
You don't think that
So
women are going to be
so you think
cautious about voting for a female-dominated political slate?
but you
They say it differently.
all right, caller.
All right.
All right, thank you for your contribution. I disagree with you. I do not agree with you saying their parties are now female dominated. The very same female, they've always been in the party. It's just that they're now stepping up to the plate of being a candidate. So I don't understand the argument. Honestly, I really don't understand the argument. What is the difference between the very same females once holding positions within a party's executive now saying, hey, maybe I want to run and become a candidate and ultimately become a minister of government? The very same female. The very, very, very same women. I mean, I remember some time ago I had a conversation here on the air with a few individuals about women's participation in politics. And when you look at the political parties across the country, right? Women, they make up the constituency groups, they make up the arms, they make up the different bodies, executive bodies of the party. They are the ones who control the finance, the planning, all of that, the day-to-day operations and management of political parties. More so by the women. And then the men know political leader or candidate. The women are now coming forward. So what is the difference? I think, with that comment by that caller, it goes right back to the notion about women being appointed to prominent positions with Ms. Leibert's appointment as the Governor General. So we know that women have always been in prominent positions over the years. But we make a buzz whenever they're appointed. And as soon as there is a bump in the road, we say, look, I've been telling you so. Women are confusion. Don't give them no more appointment. I think that is what we're doing. That is exactly what we're doing. We are, on one hand, praising the women for being appointed in prominent positions, are taking up positions that are traditionally held by men. And as soon as there is a glitch, as soon as there is a bump in the road, we say, well, I've been telling you so. So it's like we are only congratulating because society says we should congratulate women when they are put in these positions. We don't really want to congratulate them, because in our minds, we're telling ourselves, I don't think a woman should be the head of whatever. But because society says congratulate women, let's congratulate women. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning. Okay, we seem to have lost that call. Let's take this other caller. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Padilla, come back. This is pertaining to the buckles of rising, and it means the real meaning of the buckles of rising. I think we are in our embryonic state when it comes to matters of this nature. Because if the museum and the monument is to be erected, then the children will learn more about the significance of Buckley. And it is foolhardy to think that one particular group should always carry the mantle, even though that group, the Rastafarian group, have done a tremendous job over the years, and the stigmatization. Now, some of the turn-off with the Rastafarians is that the Rastafarians will go, and when they open up the ceremony, and so they will invoke their way of life, their philosophy, and nothing is wrong with that. So you don't expect a Christian group to come and invoke something otherwise than Jesus' name and the like. So one has to live with that the Rastafarians will invoke Emperor Haile Selassie or whatnot. That said, this is bigger than just one group. So for someone to say that more Rastas should be there, I agree. But more of everybody should be there. More of all the groups should be there. More Christians. Because the Christians, they go to work and they want good wage. The crux of the matter is better wages. And the wages that we enjoy today, some might argue, is not as high as it ought to be. Nonetheless, it is to a standard where, in terms of looking back 1935, it was so minuscule. So we are enjoying a better wage today, and that is the crux of the matter of the Buckley. These are the educational drive that we will have. Things there to sensitize our people and for people to better appreciate these things and to hold it dear to them. That as they go forward and that as they become qualified in certain job details, they would be expected, like Mrs. Henry said, the 8,000 and the 9,000 a month. Because that would suffice where we are right now in our qualification and life in whatsoever matter, subject matter. So that is the crux of the matter. But if we don't educate our people, they will never know, they will never appreciate what the Buckley's uprising, and it's not the Buckley's riot, it's the Buckley's uprising. Where the Buckleys, those who work on the Buckley estate, what they would have gotten, as opposed to those who work on the Needmust estate, the Cranston estate, the Estridge estate, and the other estates. And that is where it started. It not only that it started here, but it permeated the Caribbean and wider field. So that all that know and better knowledgeable about the Buckley's uprising, they appreciate the wage that they get today. That they can save a penny, send their children to school, send their children to colleges, so that they too can get better wages as the time comes. That's the crux of the matter. And we're going to be relentless as to that monument, the Christina, thanks for the monument in the Christina, the Buckleys, and others that ought to be recognized as Pinkerton Nevis becoming a nation, moving away from independent pledge allegiance to the King Charles III, his heirs and successor, and becoming a republic and pledging allegiance to all people so that we will enjoy the better wages that we so deserve. Thanks for listening.
And thank you, caller, for your contribution to this program. You're listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. It is 11:55 here in our studios for Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. A caller posed a question earlier as to the age of the Governor Generals that we have had. The first Governor General, according to my research, Clement Arundel, he was 52 at the time of his appointment. So when he was appointed Governor General in 1983, he was 52 years old. The second Governor General, which was the longest serving Governor General, Sir Cuthbert Sebastian, he was appointed in 1996, and at the time he was 72 years old. Sir Edmund Lawrence was appointed in 2013, and at the time he was 81 years old. Sir Tapley Seaton was appointed in 2015, and at that time he was 66 years old. Marcella Liebert was appointed officially today, the 1st of February 2023, and she is currently 69 years old. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this last call. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Greetings. Thanks for taking our call. And give thanks for the information flowed so far. Okay. Concerning the appointment of the new Governor General, we don't really, we glad you say what you're saying, concerning the Congress, And it's true. The people, them like robots. But you see, true, we don't got no friends in high society, affiliated with high society. We're going to freely pour our congrats. And it's a long time women have got you this, It ain't just now. It ain't just now at all. That unwanted ism of seeing women lesser, inferior to male, to man. And it's terrible. And we need to reach a point where we dash it away altogether. So congrats is in order, and we do it artically. There's was going around saying that even though the office, before I say about what was going around, even though the office is something that we wish to be no more as a people, having that representative for what we know the representative is about, the queen, the king, and successors, and etc. We're looking forward to moving from that soonest. Never mind, it is with us, so we are dealing with it. Here's what's going around saying that Mrs. Liebert ought not to be in that position because of her political affiliation, so that she cannot be free in decision making, when decisions have to be made. She's human, that could be so, but it don't have to be so, because people is on different levels, and I don't think it is fair to judge her when that experience has not, come to the fore. We want to thank you again for speaking your truth to the people. Yeah, God, that is what it's all about, Speak the truth, come what may, Me leave from here, so, as with a name, what my mother give me. A biblical name, and me go to Jamaica and spend some years well, and they change my name, The belly change part of it. And when my elders them did that, I had no qualms about it, because it even though me not a person who love telling lie, no, God telling lie is not a good thing, When me small, I get enough what because
right.
But them call it e-truth, and truth is part of that, word sound power, and it is all truth to the people, come what may.
All right, caller.
So give thanks for the information again. Blessed love.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. It is 11:59 in the studios of WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Now, to continue where I was, where I left off from regarding, the comment there by the previous caller. There have been several instances of public spat or the public fighting, for lack of a better word, there between politicians and political leaders, not just here but across the region. I mean, most recently in the Antigua and Barbuda general elections. What was most exciting about that campaign or that election cycle period there was Asset Michael and Gaston Brown going at each other. Members of the same party, considered labor stalwarts. I think they were actually close friends. I stand to be corrected. Members of the same party going at each other, where Asset Michael left the party and went and ran as an independent candidate. Then if we bring it home, we have the situation in the St. Kitts Labour Party at that time with Timothy Harris and Dr. Timothy Harris and Dr. Denzel Douglas. Timothy Harris was sacked from the cabinet and he left and formed his own party. Then we recently had a situation with the Team Unity administration. Timothy Harris, Mark Brantley, Lindsey Grant, Sean Richards, the whole Team Unity coalition. I recall attending events and listening to interviews and seeing clips going around on social media with them publicly going at each other. Did we say that, well, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4 instances where male political leaders have publicly gone against each other, so we shouldn't put another male back in there? So I say that to say that we are a bunch of fake people. We pretend that we are happy for women when they are appointed to prominent positions, because we realize, well, everybody else is congratulating them, so let's go and congratulate them. But as soon as there is a bump in the road, we say, confusion. That's being fake. And I will call it as I see it. So 4 instances here in St. Kitts and Nevis, in Antigua and Barbuda. We see what happens in St. Vincent and the Grenadines from time to time. Members of the same team going against each other. Hearing about internal fighting in parties. But in that case, in those instances, they're men. And I've never once heard the comment that, well, boy, all these men keep fighting, publicly cussing each other or publicly challenging each other. So let's go on and let's not vote for any more men to be political leaders. No, there's an instance where women are seemingly going against each other, and we grab the opportunity to say that women are confusion. And it is women who are saying this. Now, that is your opinion. And it is okay for you to stand by your opinion. But I call it fake. Let's take this break for the headline news. And when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less. Worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International. By land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the WIN Headline News, I am Kevon Brown.
And I am Yolana Weeks.
Making the headlines.
Her Excellency Miss Marcella Liburd sworn in as first female Governor General of St. Kitts Nevis.
Social Security Board celebrates 45 years of operation under the theme Transform, Reform, Thrive. Social Security 45.
Panorama on pause as it pivots from virtual operations to a hybrid model.
4 suspects in the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse transferred from Haiti to the U.S. Internationally, the UK will face its largest day of industrial action, with up to 500,000 workers, including train drivers, bus drivers, civil servants, university lecturers, and security guards, set to strike in disputes over pay, jobs, and working conditions. Now, the details.
The investiture ceremony for the new Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, Her Excellency Miss Marcella Liburd, was held on Wednesday morning, February 1, 2023. Resident High Court Judge Her Ladyship Tamara Gale administered the oath of allegiance and the oath of office.
I, Marcella Althea Liburd, swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance, that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, according to law, so help me God. I, Marcella Althea Liburd, swear that I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis and the law, and preserve the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis and the law, and that I will conscientiously, impartially, and to the best of my ability, discharge my duties, as and do right, all manner of people, without fear or favor, affection or ill, so help me God.
Her Excellency Miss Marcella Liburd is the 5th Governor General of the independent state of St. Kitts and Nevis and the first female to hold that post in the country. She succeeds Sir Samuel Weymouth Tapley Seaton, who served as Governor General from 2015 to 2023. The former Governor General, whose reign came to an end at 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, January 31, was not present at the ceremony, but sent regards and best wishes to Her Excellency the Governor General. The first Governor General was Sir Clement Arundel, 1983 to 1995, followed by the longest-serving Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, Sir Cuthbert Sebastian, 1996 to 2013. The third Governor General was Sir Edmund Lawrence, 2013 to 2015. In attendance at the investiture ceremony were Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Cabinet Ministers, and other invited guests.
The St. Christopher and Nevis Social Security Board has been providing sickness, maternity, invalidity, and age benefits to insured persons and their families of St. Kitts and Nevis for 45 years. The Social Security Fund commenced operations on February 1, 1978, with similar objectives to Social Security systems in countries worldwide. The theme this year is Transform, Reform, Thrive, Social Security 45, and to celebrate, various activities, including a church service, awards gala, and more, will be held. Prime Minister and Minister responsible for Social Security, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, delivered a message on the 45th anniversary of the National Insurance Scheme. The Prime Minister highlighted how Social Security has contributed to nation building through contributions to health, education, local capital investments, and more. As with previous reports on the fund's longevity, it is estimated that the fund will be depleted by 2040 without changes to the structure of the fund. According to the annual actuarial review, the Social Security Board is set to reform the fund's structure to enhance its relevance and sustainability. One significant reform focuses on the age pension, with suggestions to increase the pensionable age to 65, increase the number of years over which wages are averaged for pension calculations, revise the schedule of actual rates to estimate the heavy weighing for the first 10 years, and instead have more gradual increase to the maximum of 60% after 40 years, and change from age benefit to retirement benefit so that one's employment and income status after pensionable age is reached affects whether the pension is payable.
As Prime Minister and Minister of Social Security on this, the 45th anniversary of the St. Christopher and Nevis Social Security Board. This year, we celebrate under the theme Transform, Reform, Thrive, Social Security 45. As a socially responsible organization, Social Security has demonstrated its commitment to nation building through its various programs. Annual donations to health and national security, education, capital investment in local development projects, support to youth programs and NGOs all add value to the core function of Social Security. We are grateful to the founding fathers, Sir Robert Llewellyn Bratcher, after whom the headquarters is named, and E. St. John Payne, whose visionary work pioneered an organization founded on international principles of equity, solidarity, and universality. With foresight, significant decisions made back in 1978 have propelled the fund into financial prowess and security 45 years later. We are also indebted as a nation to all the former administrators, management, and staff whose contribution cannot be measured or minimized. We are grateful for your stewardship and thank you for your commitment and dedication to the board's mission to provide the best possible benefits to all insured. Today, Social Security provides 26 benefits, each with their qualifying conditions and rates of payments. Social Security continues to position itself as the premier pillar of our society, providing payments to the insured in situations such as sickness, maternity, employment injury, disability, and in old age, amongst others. I can recall a point in our history when our people had no social income protection after retirement or when life circumstances came upon them. Today, all insured persons can rely with confidence on the ability of the Social Security Fund to pay benefits at the most vulnerable occasions. This year, as we observe our maturing fund, which stand with reserve of over $1.7 billion, we acknowledge our equally important important and critical role to bolster and reinforce the current structure to advance transformational reform. This resolute act will assure that the vitality and assurance of the Social Security Fund for another 45 years or more. This lifeline institution, currently serving near 7,000 aged pensioners and all the contributors to Social Security, seeks to ensure that due care and diligence be given to its continued sustainability. Without adjustments to the current structure, our robust fund can be depleted by 2040. However, the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party administration is committed to ensuring that the reform agenda is carried out and the best possible solutions are implemented over time to thrust Social Security into another 45 years of service to our people. Despite the growing challenges and the intricacies of changing demographics, Social Security remains a strong and resilient safety net to all contributors. As Minister with responsibility for Social Security matters, I make an earnest plea to employers and the self-employed to remain compliant and make the required monthly regular remittances to Social Security to meet the future needs of our staff who trust you to do the right thing on their behalf and to secure future benefits for yourself in retirement. I encourage all stakeholders to pay keen attention to Social Security matters and to ascribe to your rights and obligations as insured persons. Throughout the anniversary period, celebrated under the theme Transform, Reform, Thrive, Social Security 45, the board, management, and staff will worship together at Zion Moravian Church on Sunday, February 5th, 2023. An awards gala, virtual panel discussion, scholarship induction ceremony, and stakeholders meetings will be held to promote the mission of Social Security and the reform agenda. I therefore pray God's continued blessings on the fund, the administrators, and the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Transform, reform, thrive, Social Security 45.
Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew on the occasion of the 45th anniversary of the Social Security Board.
Mr. Nevin Roach, founder and CEO of Panorama Entertainment, informed WINFM of his organization's decision to pause Panorama as it transitions from virtual operations to a hybrid model. Quote, "We are looking to host participants in one country for part of the competition, where in addition to the performances, we can add cultural exchange, community outreach, and other components and activities, which we think would help to produce well-rounded panelists. The Knowledge for Success Development Series will be restructured and expanded to include digital marketing, among other topics." End quote. Panorama, a solo steel pan competition, was born 3 years ago during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, which only allowed for virtual stagings of the event within that period. Roach said his team, under the circumstances, were able to build a successful platform that continuously captivated the global steel pan community. Roach said, quote, "My team and I have done a great job with the platform to date. We have not only seen tremendous growth with the competition, but also with many of the young participants who we try to impact in a positive way. I think now is the right time to step back for a bit, to reimagine the competition for the benefit of the participants and other major stakeholders." End quote. In 2022, St. Kitts and Nevis was represented for the first time at Panorama by Mr. Aaron Maintos, a national who resides in the United States, and Roach, in an interview with WINFM, said he is looking forward to more representation from the Federation. Most recently, following the 2022 hosting of the Sugar Mass 51 Panorama competition in St. Kitts, Roach pledged to contribute to the steel pan music art form in any possible way. Roach, a Tobagonian, expressed that a day does not go by where he is not aware of how fortunate he is to live a life which encompasses performing, composing, arranging, teaching, and adjudicating. He added that he and his team at Panorama Entertainment are passionate about the holistic development of all the competition's participants and their general well-being. Meanwhile, panists from St. Kitts and Nevis and other countries who are eager to participate in Panorama will get that opportunity when the event resumes in 2025.
In regional news, 4 suspects in the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse are transferred from Haiti to the U.S. That story and more from Carib Update.
4 key suspects in the July 7, 2021 assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse were transferred from Haiti to the United States on Tuesday to face criminal charges, the U.S. Justice Department has announced. A total of 7 suspects in the case are now in U.S. custody. Dozens of others still languish in Haiti's main penitentiary, which is severely overcrowded and often lacks food and water for inmates. The department on Tuesday said Haitian-American dual citizens James Solage, 37, and Joseph Vincent, 57, and Colombian citizen German Alejandro Rivera Garcia, 44, have been charged with conspiring to commit murder or kidnapping outside the United States. A 4th man, Haitian-American Christian Sonan, 54, is charged with smuggling ballistic vests from the United States to Haiti for use in the assassination plot. The 4 will appear in federal court in Miami on Wednesday. The U.S. Justice Department has already charged 3 others in the assassination, with Sonan, who the department called an aspiring political candidate, a key leader of the operation. It said Sonan recruited about 20 Colombians with military training, led by Rivera Garcia, to help carry out the assassination. 4 police officers in Jamaica have been detained after they were accused of raping and robbing a young woman. The 4 officers, said to be members of a special team, were detained early Tuesday. This followed a report by a 26-year-old woman who alleged that she was raped, robbed, and threatened by the policemen following a traffic stop Monday night. The woman said she was stopped for driving with a demonstration plate on her vehicle. According to the woman, the police demanded $50,000 Jamaican dollars in return for not prosecuting her. They took her to an ATM machine to withdraw the cash, but she reportedly did not get the sum. The woman claims that she was then ordered to drive to the back of a supermarket where she was raped.
We now bring you these international reports.
Does this make on its own?
5-year-olds at Barncroft School listened to their teacher intently. On Wednesday, Deborah Piper won't be here. She'll be on the picket line, calling for better conditions for teachers and a pay rise funded by the government, not taken from her school's budget, as it was last year.
That comes out of the children's pockets, that comes out of the children's books. So they've put us in a very precarious situation where we feel really guilty taking the bare minimum as we have and putting the schools in such dire strait with budgets. So there are 2 really good reasons that actually I want to go on the march and be counted and say enough.
More than 100,000 teachers in England and Wales will strike, forcing thousands of schools to close, though some, like Barncroft, will stay open to look after their most vulnerable students. Last year, teachers protested not only over pay, but staff shortages, as a third quit the profession within 5 years of qualifying. The unions complain the government is not engaging with the issues, but critics argue teachers are asking for too much, a 12% pay rise, which is above inflation.
My concern is that by striking over pay, when teachers are, relative to the families that they serve in their school, they're relatively very well paid. My worry is that we're going to go from teaching being a respected and trusted profession to one where people are less trusting of what teachers say and do.
But head teacher Tracy Griffiths explains that action is about so much more than money.
In this country, people can only strike for certain reasons, and pay is one of them. I think if you were to ask the majority of teachers in this country, they would say they were striking for pay, but more importantly for funding for schools, because they are at the front line seeing the cuts and what they're having to deal with without enough money to do it.
Teachers joining the strikes marks an escalation in a winter of industrial action across the UK. But so far the government has made it clear it's not prepared to reopen talks over pay. Children still catching up on learning lost during the COVID pandemic, and with 4 days of strikes planned ahead, it is the children that will suffer. Charlie Angela, Al Jazeera, London.
Now, a tiny, potentially deadly radioactive capsule that was lost in the Australian outback more than 2 weeks ago has been found. It's tiny, just 6 millimetres in diameter. A massive search operation was launched after it fell off a truck somewhere along a 1,400-kilometre stretch of highway towards Perth. The capsule was found 2 metres from the side of the road after specialist equipment detected radiation being emitted from it. Let's go to Western Australia's capital, Perth. James Carmody is a reporter there. He's been covering this search, so really like the proverbial needle in a haystack. What do we know about how something that is potentially deadly fell off this truck in the first place?
Well, Anita, to give you an idea of what we're talking about here, we 3D printed a replica of the capsule in the newsroom. And that's just how tiny it is. Now, the device is used in mining to measure things, but it's dangerously radioactive. And that tiny little capsule caused a massive search operation and a great deal of concern here in Australia when late on Friday afternoon there was an extraordinary press conference with members of the public warned to look out for this tiny capsule because it emits dangerous levels of radioactivity. People were told, do not pick it up because it could lead to radiation burns, and being in the vicinity of it could cause radiation sickness. Now, it was believed to have fallen off a truck somewhere between that mine site and 1,400 kilometres south to here in Western Australia's capital city, Perth. So people were told to even check their tyre treads to see if the tiny silver capsule may have been picked up there. Of course, it then led to a massive search operation with firefighters, police and military walking the Great Northern Highway to search for the capsule, and specialist equipment brought in from all over the place. It was 6 days later that it was found. Earlier today, a car driving along with some of this detection equipment on board, doing 70 kilometres an hour, detected a ping along the side of the road, and it was then found 2 metres from the road where it's believed to have somehow fallen off this truck, and they've set up a 20-metre exclusion zone around it. It'll then be put safely into a lead box, and the military will be brought in to verify that it is indeed the capsule. It'll then be stored in a secure location tonight and brought back down here to Perth to be checked by the health department tomorrow.
Briefly, how much worry do you think this caused amongst the public?
It was an extraordinary press conference. It felt like something from a superhero movie, hearing that there was a radioactive capsule that had somehow gone missing somewhere, and it could be anywhere and anyone could find it. But it also led to a great deal of questions as to how something so potentially dangerous could somehow fall off the back of a truck. Questions asked of the mining company involved, Rio Tinto, who later put out an apology and said that it was a contractor that had been transporting the device. Questions also asked about who's going to foot the bill for the enormous search effort. It emerged earlier that the maximum penalty for something like this here in WA is only $1,000. Now, our Prime Minister said earlier today that that is ridiculously low. But we have also, just in the last little while, heard from Rio Tinto that they said if the state government makes the request, they would be happy to reimburse the cost of that enormous search exercise.
It's 2 years since Myanmar's military leaders overthrew the government led by Aung San Suu Kyi. The fallout from the coup continues to this day. It's estimated around 70,000 people have left Myanmar, with more than 1 million having been displaced. The UN has accused the military leaders of war crimes and crimes against humanity. Let's talk to our correspondent Jonathan Head, who's on the Thai-Burmese border near the town of Mae Sot. And Jonathan, what has changed in Myanmar over the last 2 years?
Well, sadly, nothing good, apart from the incredible show of unity that people opposing the coup were able to show openly in the early months after it, and have since had to do so by either fleeing to Thailand over the river. There's a lot of crossing of dissidents coming over here to seek sanctuary, or taking up arms against the military. But the consequences of that war now, that civil war, as the civil war has been going on now for around 18 months, have been very severe for the human population, particularly outside the main cities, where the authorities have managed to kind of stabilize the economy and there's some kind of normalcy. But outside, much of the country is in the hands of local communities and insurgent groups who are fighting the military with whatever weapons they can get. The military has responded by using, particularly recently, air power, gunships and ground attack aircraft to bomb villages. Troops then go in and burn down homes. Some 40,000 houses have been burnt down in military operations. And of course, you can imagine what's happening to the populations there. We've got 8 million children out of school, 40% of people living below the poverty line, 15 million dangerously short of food. So the country is stuck in this really dreadful status quo. What everyone's been waiting for is some sign that the military recognises that it's not winning, that its coup was a blunder, and that it might soften its hold. That hasn't happened. Instead, the regime has been talking about holding an election this year, even though it doesn't control much of the country. We haven't yet heard them commit to that date. That's something we're expecting to hear in the next 24 or 48 hours.
Elections, as you say, Jonathan, scheduled for later this year. Do we know who might be involved and who won't be involved?
I think we can be pretty certain that the woman who resoundingly won the last free election that was held in this country just over 2 years ago, Aung San Suu Kyi, who of course is still revered across Myanmar, will not be allowed to contest. She has had multiple charges piled up against her and been convicted and is being held in prison. She's facing, at the moment, she's been sentenced to 33 years in prison, which is pretty much the rest of her natural life. Her party, the National League for Democracy, most of them have gone into opposition, into hiding. Some of them are even over on the Thai side here. They almost certainly won't be allowed to contest. And any plans for an election have been pretty universally condemned as irrelevant to the country, as illegitimate and entirely impractical when you have such a large degree of opposition and among people who are determined to stop the election and not to take part.
You were listening to the WINNFM Headline News on 98.9. Our top stories were:
Her Excellency Miss Marcella Liburd sworn in as first female Governor General of St. Kitts Nevis.
Social Security Board celebrates 45 years of operation under the theme Transform, Reform, Thrive. Social Security 45.
Panorama on pause as it pivots from virtual operations to a hybrid model.
4 suspects in the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse transferred from Haiti to the U.S. Internationally, the UK will face its largest day of industrial action, with up to 500,000 workers, including train drivers, bus drivers, civil servants, university lecturers, and security guards, set to strike in disputes over pay, jobs, and working conditions. Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and NHC.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoy the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less. Worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Welcome back to Voices right here on Win FM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. We're now entering the second hour. It is Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. It is 12:43 here in the studios of Win FM 98.9. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989, 762-0989. or 662-0989. We are also live on our social media platforms, and so you can check us out at our Facebook page, YouTube channel, or Twitter account at WINNMedia SKN. This is Voices for Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. I'm Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, I want to share an update with you. I think this is useful information as it relates to the Poverty Alleviation Program. This is an update from the Ministry of Social Development. So it says that the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs wishes to provide to the general public an update on the application process for the Poverty Alleviation Program. It says that at the close of the application process on December 30th, 2022, of the total applications received from across St. Kitts and Nevis, 9,094 applications were fully completed and accepted for further review, verification, and processing. Considering the oversubscribed nature of the program, no new or incomplete applications are being considered since the close of the application period. The next stage of the review process focused on the eligibility criteria of the household earning less than 3,000 EC dollars per month. A review of the completed applications revealed that 8,985 applicants were eligible based on the self-reported earnings. Further verification of employment and income status of eligible applicants continues with assistance from the Social Security Board. The federal cabinet has approved the following priority households to receive payment of the Poverty Alleviation Program. 1. Households headed by seniors, that is, persons 62 years and older who identified themselves as the main applicant for the benefit during the registration period. 2. Households headed by persons with disabilities, that is, persons who identified themselves as the main applicant for the benefit and indicated that they have a disability. And 3. households with minor children, that is unemployed, and employed persons who identified themselves as the main applicant and whose households contain children younger than the age of 18. Unemployed heads of households with minor children will be prioritized within this category. The update continues. The first payment of cycle of the Poverty Alleviation Program will be made to households headed by seniors and persons with disabilities only by Monday, February 6, 2023. All future payments to additional categories of beneficiaries will be made by the last working day of each month, inclusive of February 2023. So all future payments to additional categories of beneficiaries will be made by the last working day of 2023. Well, last working day of each month, inclusive of February 2023. The Department of Community Development and Social Services will continue to verify the application details of eligible applicants to complete the review process for payment of additional persons by February 28, 2023. Information on the status of all submitted applications will be updated via the program application portal in the coming weeks. A public address will be made by the Minister of Social Development and Gender Affairs on Sunday, February 5th, 2023, to provide details to the public on the plans for long-term reform to the Poverty Alleviation Program as it relates to the goals, objectives, and the introduction of graduation periods for all beneficiaries. Okay. The general public is reminded that each applicant signed a declaration which stated, and I quote, "I hereby declare that the information given in this claim is true to the best of my knowledge and belief, and that I will not receive or keep any payment in respect of any period for which I, on behalf of my household, do not meet the criteria." As such, each beneficiary household is reminded of this declaration and are asked to comply. The Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs continues to operate the PAP hotline at 765-5993. An email you can send an email at pppu@gov.kn, but the number is 765-5993. 765-5993. So just to remind you, the first payment cycle will be made by the 6th of this month, which is this coming Monday, and future payments will be made to the additional categories the last working day of each month, inclusive of this month, February 2023. And they have listed the priority households to receive the payment of the PAP program. It is 12:51 here in the studios of WINNFM 98.9, and you're listening to Voices for Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. I'm Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the program today. The phone lines are open, and we are taking your calls at 466-0989 or 762-0989. That is 466-0989 or 762-0989. So if I could continue where I left off from, the whole issue of women in politics or women in prominent positions, I find that, it is perhaps the norm, or society says, hey, it's okay for you to congratulate women when they are put in, prominent positions. But as soon as these women, they have difficulties, they have a challenge, or they mess up, as we would say, we are quick to say, look, you shouldn't have done that. So I don't think we're giving women a fair chance. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Devon. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Yes, and good afternoon to all those who are just joining. We're the number one station, right? In the nation. Now, something is puzzling me, I listened to the thing you read. They said 12,000 people had registered, right? And now they said over 2,000, almost 3,000 were taken out because the application was incomplete and they have no chance of updating it. They're now considering 8,900 and must say 65 or 75. And with those, they're doing inquiry. But shouldn't they have notified the people above? Isn't that what you understand?
Repeat that question so I could clearly understand what you're saying.
If I understood what you read, they had indicated earlier that over 12,000 persons had applied. They're now saying that over, I think it's over 2,000 or whatever. But at least those whose application were incomplete, they didn't say for what reason. They will not be considered because the registration period has passed. They're now looking at 8,000, I think it was 8,009 something. You see the number?
Yes.
Right.
Let me repeat the number.
So it meant that automatically without appeal, over 2,000 people were struck off.
Okay, so yeah, the number is 8,985.
Right, right. I tell you, the brain's still working. Now, of those 8,000, there's no guarantee that you're going to get, because you still have to investigate, eh?
Right, they still have the update.
Yeah, they have to corroborate some of the information with Social Security.
Yes, verification.
And so. Now, those who are going to get on Monday, next Monday, Monday coming. Seniors first, head of household who earn less, 3,000 or less. Disabled people, they didn't give any criteria. I can't be just be disabled, eh? Because some disabled people get more than 3,000, eh? Then people with young children. Now those things are fair. They can't go to be so fair because those who are harder pressed will get first. Now if they, and then it will be paid at the end of each month. Now if they got on the 6th, are they going to get at the end of that same month, February?
Could you repeat that question, caller? Sorry.
Certain categories are going to get the PAP on Monday.
Yes.
Then after that, for those who qualify according to the criteria they gave, they will get it at the end of each month.
Correct.
Now, if you got on the 6th, are you going to get on the 28th?
Oh, good question. Good question. I would assume, I would say no. I would say perhaps you will get the following month, which would be March.
It should be made clear.
Yes.
Because you know what people, the more they get, the more they want.
Yes, that is true.
But
yes.
you see what politics does to us? Now, at the beginning of the election campaign, they were saying over 7,000 people were on it. And then 4 more, 5,000 went and registered. And now almost 3,000 just automatically cut off. We got to make up our mind what you want, you know. And they said something good, which I think is fair. There should be a phasing out period.
The graduation period, which is good.
Huh?
The graduation period, yes.
Yeah. Because you can't be forever on it. Other people wouldn't get on. So there has to be an evaluation, but you must know that you're being evaluated. And all those who were struck off could imagine the disappointment. And I would have thought that they would have been notified. You know, send out a notice, say, look, all of you who have, whatever reason, the application was not completed by the end of the registration, because it meant that they had started it. They started the process. I don't know whatever reason, but that is a lot of people knock off. And that is why government has to be careful, and politicians, what they say. Because you now end up with more, you're having to pay out more than what you were critical of.
Well,
You know,
I think the issue that they were highlighting was that there were people on the program who did not meet the criteria.
So you managed to reach the 12,000.
Well, maybe if you have a case now where, so let's say before you had 5,000, and of that 5,000, majority did not meet the criteria. Now you have an additional 5,000, but these are people who are eligible. Then I see nothing wrong with that, as long as they're eligible.
That the program wasn't properly set up in the first place. If that could happen, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't properly managed. So that's interesting, though, because they still have to go to Social Security and find out if what you say is so. So people pay attention. And if you're not sure if you're going to qualify, I suggest you call them and find out. You see what I mean?
Well, if you want to call, anyone who wants to call to get information or more information on the PAP, you can do so at 765-5993.
Yeah, because you might be sitting down there waiting and thinking you're going to get when you already knock off. Now, I'll call back. I want to talk about Black History Month. Because we can't minimize it. Some people say, oh, every day I'm black. Every day you're black is good. But if you are proud to be black, it is good to take time not to congratulate and commend and educate our people about our people. Because nobody can do it for us, eh?
All right, caller.
And I was even thinking that we could throw out a challenge to people when they call in. See if you can name a black Kittitian or Nibijan. I said Kittitian or Nibijan, eh? Because most time when people talk, they're talking about black Americans. We have had, and we still continue to have, people of African descent. Let me say it, so, because you could be looking white and black, eh? It's true. Some people just learn that they're black when they go to Canada and so. And they look white here, and then they go to learn the black. So if you are of African descent, they say one drop of black make you black. And you know, anyone, you don't want to be a family, any Kittitian or Nibijan, you don't want to be present. It could be in the history, because I've come across a number of them where sometimes our people don't know. They may not be in St. Kitts. They could be anywhere they are. Where you know we have black people, black Kittitians and Nibisions who have done something commendable. That's a challenge I'm throwing out. All right, then.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. Let's take a short break to acknowledge our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue. Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Let's take this break and I'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas, announces king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts. We have the best service and competitive rates on LCL and FCL cargo, including D&E containers, cars, heavy equipment, buses, boats, and barrels from Miami to St. Kitts. LCL pickup service anywhere in the U.S. Call local agents SL Horseman and Company Limited at 869-465-4086 or 869-662-5008 for further details. King Ocean's king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts Nevis. King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas.
Welcome back to Voices. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Your greetings forwardly. Thanks for having us again. Okay, we'd like to find out from you, previous caller, if she was on the poverty alleviation program and got striked off and she was not notified because, I mean, family, how do you know that people was not given notification of same? I mean, I hope you're not speculating, you know, because we expect them to do that, you know, and she made a point, say people must be looking out for the money. I mean, if you are not qualified, she said people are disappointed. If you're not qualified, there should be no disappointment because you ought not to be there in the first place. Just give thanks for what you have gotten already, you know. We even hearing words about returning of funds, you know, which we can overlook once we get the thing straight. Okay, concerning Rastafari in the black world, I see myself as vanguards of black supremacy, you know, that original, ancient live, you know. Don't even see ourselves as being religious. It's just a liberty of our original self as a race of people. We strive to be there, you know. So it's quite natural for us to be on the forefront with things like Black Story Month, African Liberation Day, the stand formation of our people in 1935, which is called the Buckley's Uprising, etc. You know, but in these, if not all, once it is not an activity marking the birth of His Imperial Majesty or the Emperor, the Empress, etc. In all these activities, we see it's all for one. It's all about us as a race of people. Us as a race is not Rastafari. You know, we just see ourselves as being who we are and have to be the beacon, be the path pavers of such because of the mental enslavement that still plagues our race, especially us who was taken away from the continent, you know. But it's all embracing. It's all embracing. It's about a race of people. A race of people that is called by color, black, African, or whatever, you know. And people must not see this spearheading, this path paving as Rastafari being like dictating, trying to, you know, along that line. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. And whosoever flex that way as Rastafari, they are very negative in their approach. It ought not to be like that. We are embracing our race because our race need to be uplifted in their in consciousness as a people. We don't hate other races, of course, but we must know ourselves. Some of years ago, before I come into Rastafari, give thanks to the teachings into Black Power, I used to find myself hating white people. I don't do that anymore because the time I take to hate, I'm poisoning my heart and marring my forwardness, you know, my stepping up within life in general. So we just Rastafari teaches us to see other people as just people. It's the human race we're dealing with. And His Majesty went on to say that, and we're going to reach to that point in creation too, until the color of a man's skin, color of his eyes, a woman, is of no significance when you're dealing with human vibration, humanity. You know, we're striving towards that and we're looking forward to get there. But until we get there, we must always see it necessary to say race first and have that consciousness of who we are as a people, especially us who was taken away. Always show it didn't begin with the human cargo experience that we had. We are the original people of the earth rightful owners, you know. This time to the time, blessed love.
And thank you, caller, for your contribution to this program. The phone lines are open and you're taking your calls right here on WINNFM 98.9. It is 107 in the studios here. The phone lines are open. Call us at 466-0989 or 762-0989. You can also follow us on our social media platforms. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Can you give me that number again, please? Your number. You could call to inquire. 765 something like that.
Or for the PAP program, or that is 765-5993.
765
Five-
59.
Yeah. 93.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, caller. Yes, for those of you who may have missed the number to call to inquire about the PAP program is 765-5993. 765-5993. Or you can send an email to pppu@gov.kn. That is pppu@gov.kn. Caller, you're on the ear. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon to you and everyone listening. I just want to call to say congratulations to the new Governor General.
Caller, you have to turn off the radio. I'm getting some feedback. Or
How
move
that
away
sound?
from the radio.
How does that sound?
Hello, caller, can you hear me?
Hi, you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. You have to move away from the radio.
Yes. So I'm just saying, I'm just calling to say congratulations to our new Governor General, and also to say thanks to our former Governor General. I just want all of us to be reminded that the Governor General is the head of state, the representative of His Majesty, King of England, and the King of the all the nations who still have him as king. That includes Canada, Australia, and everyone. However, I've been listening to a few bits and pieces, but it's just to let everyone know. The Governor General is actually supposed to be above politics. It's to represent the nation as the guide, and to, without that seal of approval, there are certain things may not come into being, like the different laws and so forth. But the Constitution spells out the actual authority, actions, and powers of the Governor General. However, I just want us to realize that the Governor General has all the privileges and all the advantages as the King of England, who is our King. So therefore, if every time you go to a gathering, you always hear royal salute, that means royalty coming. I know there have been talk this morning in the program about maybe going a republic. So be it of the majority of the persons want it to be that way. But I will prefer an elected and executive president over any other, or else will be just going up to what we have. However, we have to be reminded that the Governor General is, you could say, our royalty in our country. So until I will prefer for us to recognize those persons and maybe even treat them as such. I mentioned it some years ago, but I don't think persons are getting what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you realize how many persons of St. Kitts could say they're going to be what? Maybe become a queen, a king, a prince or princess by getting married into it. This is only our chance to be feeling such in that position of Governor General. And maybe we could think about it and start treating our Governor General as such, because he said they enjoy all the privileges, rights, and all those things as such person. However, I just want to encourage my teacher to continue looking at it and do the office proud as she always done in many things. Because at the end of the day, she is the head of state for every petition and division for the nation of St. Kitts. And that office, just like how you see how the King of England governs out of politics, but at the same time give advice as to how things should go, that's the way it should be. And so I'm just saying, I'm looking forward for good work from our new Governor General, and I just wish her God's blessing, because the scripture says we must pray for our leaders. So I wish her God's blessing to guide her, to be governed by the Constitution and laws at all times, but however, most importantly, be guided by God. I just want to say thank you very much for listening to me, and have a blessed one, and let everyone think about that. And those things, especially when we're talking about the president, is to have an elected president. Therefore, you and all, Mr. Cornelius, if you want to run for president, you can come president, meaning you do not have to be affiliated with a party to run for president. So that is for us to think about and realize the president in Guyana is different to the president in Barbados, Dominica, and even Trinidad and Tobago. The president in Guyana is an executive president elected. So if you want to go Republic, I would prefer that as opposed to have the president of others. So I just wanted to thank you for listening to me, and everybody for listening to me, and these are things to consider. Let us treat our Governor General as royalty, because that person, that office, it is that the person of all the privileges and all the rights as the King of England has. So let us do that to our own people, so our own person. And this is our royalty. So whoever sits at office, let us treat them as a royalty. And it also goes for the Deputy Governor General in Navy as well. Thank you very much.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. You are listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. We have some more callers. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this one. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Devon.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Happy to be alive.
Okay, man. Yeah, man. All the time. Well, I'm going away just now. I go in America.
Okay, well, enjoy for me and you.
Okay. Listen, let me ask you a question. How many color of black you have as black people? One color or two different shades of black? Then I'm going to tell you the reason why I asked the question. Just let me hear your answer.
Well, black is black, but that's a tricky question.
Okay. Well, you know why the reason why I asked that? Because we have seen the trend in America for years. Those Caucasian people, a majority of them hate the color black. So that you have seen a lot of Caucasian police, whenever they have to stop a black person on the street, we have seen the amount of ill treatment that they pass down to the black people, the black person. And now, recently we have seen black police do the same thing to black people. So that's why I asked what level of color is black. Because I don't understand. The Caucasian people been accused over the years, and they're still doing it, that they hate to see black. And now we see black now come like they hate to see black. That when they're going to stop somebody in a vehicle on the road or whatever it is, why don't they hold the person and put on the shackle and put them in the car and carry them and proceed to the correct procedure? Why they got to be banging the person till the person dead? You know, it's black kill no black, black no kill black, you know. And this thing is not good enough. So it seemed to me like it's two different shades of black out there who they don't target. So it is left to be seen. And that is not good enough. That is not right. You're not supposed to ill-treat anybody because you have the authority over them to arrest them or whatever it is. Treat the people like human beings. And according to the law, treat them according to the law. Don't take the law in your hand and do what you want. Bang them and then you look, couple hours they're dead. Anyway, thanks for your time. Give thanks.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution to this program. It is 17 minutes past the 1 o'clock hour, and you're listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Let me say thank you so much for your contribution to this program. for the first hour and the second hour. We have some more callers coming in, so we'll be taking these call. Let's sit back to the phone lines. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Yeah, greetings forwardly. Okay, that is nothing strange, you know. We see it in the Caribbean, you know. We had our portion here in St. Kitts, you know. Police brutality, police killing from Tolerance in Newtown. When there was some police in Newtown and he was murdered by police. That funeral was like a protest. I remember seeing police up and down skipping, taking pictures like they want to frighten us at that time in the plackyards, etc. It means that these things have to stop. So, it's not just in America where we see this unwanted ism here taking place. That people with the or kith and kin being the culprits. We see it right in our. They said miscredited them. We see it right in our neck of the woods. So we just have to just deal with it. We just have to just deal with it. It's part of the mental enslavement that them leave us in. Saying self-hatred, etc., etc. So don't marvel over that. You're going to see it even more until it is stopped altogether. Because what we're going to happen now, you know, is black people who is not on that level to stop them black policemen from doing that. Can't even depend on the system to stop them. The people who is on the black people who is on a different level in America have to stop that. Touchable. Blessed love.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. You're listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9, and I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the program. I wanted to, okay, before I share that, let's take this other caller quickly. Yeah, caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Yeah, let me just put in a little tidbit here. I was reading an article here some time ago that people like Jesse Jackson and others got together and tried to change this term Black American because, you know, it's those white people in them who use the derogative term to Caucasian to describe themselves. Because I have never seen a white person yet. I've seen these so-called white people. You know, when you're mixing some cases where you mix red Bryson with milk, that pink, but I've never seen I have seen some people, Negroes, what we call black. The skin is so dark that it could be classified as black, if you understand what I'm trying to say, some parts of the world. But I've never seen a white man yet. I've seen them come off the boat. Some of them is so pale that they're like I said, like when you mix pale pink then, and not white. You have Jesse Jackson was trying to say that Chinese American, Arab American. So why you can't have African American instead of Black American? You understand my point?
Yes, I'm following.
Hello?
Yes, caller, I'm following you.
Yes. You see, so to me, the term black, like I said, it was a derogative term used by, but I still will consider myself a black man. You know, I'm proud to say I'm a black man. But it's a term that these white people use to degrade all race of people. Because when you look at the Chinese, you know you say, how do you classify the Chinese other than he's a Chinese, or an Indian, or a Pakistani, or an Arab? The only two races where there's a distinction in color is the Caucasian and the black and the African, which you call black and white. You understand my point?
Yes.
I've never heard a color attached to a Chinese, a Japanese, an Italian, not like that. Italian American, which I find to be strange. Anyway, just that my little tidbit that I observed, I need to just put in. Thank you.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. You're listening to Voices right here on Win FM at 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. There was something I wanted to share with you, the listening audience, regarding a cyber attack that the Nevis Island Administration's Department of Information Technology was the victim of a cyber attack. This was announced by the Premier, who I think is the Minister with responsibility for that department. And so he made the announcement. There was a statement. I lost track of the statement here. But essentially there was an attack on their government system, which connects the phones in the various government departments, emails, the internet service. I think some of you perhaps have been trying to reach different government departments throughout the Nevis Island administration, and you've been unable to do so. That is because there was a cyber attack on their information technology infrastructure, their network. And so the Department of Information Technology, as announced in this statement, they're working assiduously to get all of the services restored. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more callers. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hey, Devon. Devon?
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Yeah. I know you say you're just born. So you might read this in the book of history. I remember there in the 60s and 70s, there was a man, a cricketer, up in South Africa when apartheid was king. And his skin is the color of those South Africans who differentiate between them and him. Mind, his skin color like them, but they're telling him he cannot make the South African side because he black. No part of he was black, except maybe he might have black here. So that is to show you how deep those people have got to discriminate against we black people, real black. We ain't have no other color to go. He look like them and they're gonna tell he not of the color, so he can't make the team. They are Caucasian, but he not of the color. They consider him to be black.
Wow.
No, yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. People, we of this color, we should appreciate it a lot. Appreciate it, because I remember one time on a beach in St. Thomas called Cookie Point. When I don't swim, normally I would run on the sand and come back take my exercise. So when I going down, there were two ladies there laying down, Caucasian ladies, laying down in the sun, flat on the back. And when I pass in, one of them say, "Oh, we are getting there." So I stand up and ask her, "Where?" So I said, "Where?" And she take her right hand and she smoothed it down on her left hand. She said, "We are getting like your complexion." I said, No. It will never happen to you. I said,
wow.
So I said, "Listen here. I born with what I have. I born black, and you born with what you have. You born that color. And who no black already, now go black again." And I turn off, leave them there. So you see, they cherish our color. They're doing everything to say they could come like us, look like us, but it can't happen. When they come down from North America and they have to work on construction site, see if they don't work, anyone of them don't work in short. No, man, they're working in a short. They got to have the short till the skin turn red and peeling off, but he ain't going to come like us. Give thanks.
All right, thank you so much, caller. But someone said too, you also have black people who trying to get to their complexion. There are people who they're black and they don't appreciate the black, and so they buy all sorts of products and bleaching cream and bleaching this to try to get rid of that black. On a different note, I have the statement here. So this is a statement by the Department of Information Technology within the Nevis Island Administration. It says that the Nevis Island Administration's information technology infrastructure was the victim of a targeted cyber attack on Friday, 27th January 2023. This has resulted in the loss of some government services and a loss of internet access across some government departments. Although internet access is gradually being restored, some departments will remain without services over the coming days as we incrementally restore services across the NIA. We ask for the patience of the general public as you may experience some difficulty in accessing the government's technology-driven services, such as the telephone services or the telephone service throughout the entire NIA, which have been significantly impacted. The Department of Information Technology has been working assiduously throughout the weekend to restore full services across the NIA. The restoration activities are still underway. We regret any inconveniences caused by the current situation, but please be assured that the Department of Information Technology is making every effort to mitigate any losses. The work will continue to increase measures to improve the safety fabric of our network. That was a statement from the Department of Information Technology within the Nevis Island Administration, and that is dated January 30th, 2023. Let's take our final call for this afternoon and we'll bring the program to a close. Caller, good afternoon. You are on the air.
Oh, yes, I'm glad to be the final one. Leave the best for last. Now, you see, sometimes these things caused by our own carelessness, you know. Because I work in a system where we had this internet business. Sometimes people here store at the end of whatever, store the information on the cloud, backup, update. Sometimes it's simple thing like that, you know. Because what should be checked is to find out from which direction the attack came. Was it on island? Was it off island? What really have they learned? Have they lost? Because in some cases it might be people's personal information. You aware of that?
Yeah, that could be. Yes.
Yeah, because you might think you're safe. Next thing you know, because everything they're asking you for your email address. Next thing you start to get all kind of advertisement and letters and so. So the people are on the outside, you still, even though they say it's the government thing, you could be affected if you're not careful. So you have to begin to check your own system. And in these parts, well, it happened in America too, they shut down more than that. But we have got to have a more robust security system in the government service. I don't know if you have time, could you read over the thing about the PAP so people could hear, if you have enough time? All right then.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. This brings us to the end of the Voices for February 1st, 2023. What I will encourage people to do, because I'm out of time, is to contact the PAP hotline, which is 765-5993. That is 765-5993. Or you can email them at pppu@gov.kn for more information. But let me just repeat that the first payment cycle of the Poverty Alleviation Program will be made to households headed by seniors and persons with disabilities only by Monday, February 6th, 2023. And all future payments to additional categories of beneficiaries will be made by the last working day of each month, inclusive of February 2023. Again, for more information, call the PAP hotline at 765-5993. 9293. I've been your host for today's edition of Voices, Devon Cornelius. Until next time, you guys take care.